Coach, can you look at the difference in rebounding and just ball movement? You only have 15 assists tonight.
Yeah, so the rebounding was problematic the whole night, so that was probably the difference in the game. You got to get stops. I thought we had some good looks at threes, and we didn't make. So trust the pass, and, but we got to rebound.
Mikal had that open look to tie it up. Was that the as good a look you could hope for, and something she surprised?
Yeah, and again, the same thing. It's the right play. Make the right play. Shot it good. We didn't make it. As long as you shoot it good, and he works on it all the time, so it's a good shot when we missed.
How do you assess what you saw from Jalen tonight?
Yeah, it was same. Like he battled like crazy. There was a physicality that, like I want to take a look at obviously huge discrepancy in free throws. Huge. So I got to take a look at that. Right. So, I don't understand, how on one side, you talk about direct line drives, the guy's getting fouled and it's not being called. Right. So, and look, I really don't give a crap how they call the game as long as it's consistent on both sides. So if Cunningham's driving and there's marginal contact and he's getting to the line, then Jalen deserves to be getting to the line. It's really that simple.
Tom, in terms of becoming a 48-minute team, playing the full 48 minutes, where do you guys need to go, or how can you guys get to the point where you're playing?
Well, the thing is, missed shots are part of the game, but the rebounding, we control that. That's your effort. That's all those things. So, if you're not shooting well, you got to do other things to help us win. So rebound the ball. So we know we got to rebound better.
Cat didn't get any shots in the fourth quarter. What do you make of that? And are there ways you feel like you guys can get him a little more involved in those situations?
Well, he's getting touches, but he's making the right play. If he's getting double teamed, I don't want him just shooting the ball over three people. That makes no sense to me.
And you also, in the first half, you closed with Mitch at the 5 over Cat. What was your
Well, Mitch was the one guy rebounding.
What was Cade doing differently that allowed him to score so much today? And after you guys contained him pretty well in game one.
Yeah, no, he's a great player. So got to the line a lot.
How exhausting is it for your ball club to play catch up the entire game, and how problematic is that?
Well,
Tom?
you have to win games different ways. Obviously, you'd rather play with the lead, but whatever you just got to find a way to win at the end.
Tom, you talked about the calls, but I think it was 14-2 in the first half free throws. Is that the biggest thing you saw?
Yeah, and we got 2 late that were, so, it is what it is.
We saw you guys kind of dominate after that 21-0 run last game. What was the difference this time that they were able to be so resilient?
Yeah, same thing. We made a comeback, and, we had a good shot at the end, and it didn't go in. So, that's the way it goes sometimes, make or miss league.
Just what's the message or the outlook going into game 3 now?
Same thing. Each game is different. You have to reset. Whether you win or lose, you reset, get ready for the next one. You got to understand what goes into winning.
I know you mentioned the fouls. Just in general, how do you feel like the guys responded to the physicality?
That's playoff basketball. It's it's going to be physical, and that's fine. And the rebounding we got to fix.
When the calls aren't going your guys' way, do you feel like there's an issue at all with maybe you guys getting too wrapped up in that and that negatively impacting you guys?
That's part of our league. So you make your point, move on, try to do it during a dead ball.
After kind of a quiet game one shooter, 20 off the bench tonight, what was it giving you trouble with him tonight?
Well, I think anytime you put 2 on somebody, you got to make sure you're reacting out. And so I thought our turnovers hurt us in the first half. It was better in the second half, and we put them into the open floor.
I don't know. I was, executing what we said we wanted to do. So, maybe you wish you could always get one of those long rebounds, which we lose balls, So it was something that got us that, kind of run. We got those 50-50 balls, and we just didn't get that today. So put us in a tough spot. We fought back. We put ourselves in the game, gave ourselves a chance, took some good shots, trust, you trust everyone in this locker room to take those shots and make them. So, nothing to feel bad about getting those kind of shots.
Well, what do you, attribute the slow starts to? I'm saying? Obviously, you guys were fighting from behind today. Game 1, it was kind of a similar.
Yeah, it was a similar game, right? I mean, every day you're going to get a 21-0 run. So we can't be expecting stuff like that. You just can't expect to flip a switch and all of a sudden, we're the team that we work so hard all year to be. So we got to bring that kind of execution and discipline all game.
Karl, you didn't get any shots off in the fourth quarter. What was that process like for you? What did you
Just trying to have the game, do what it does. And like I said, just executing what we talked about. So, thought we got some great shots and great looks. So you live with, those kind of great shots and great looks, especially when we fought back and got in the game.
Mikhail obviously
had
had
a guy like Tobias guarding you. I know it's far from the first time you've had a wing guarding you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a guy like Tobias guarding you, what's your mentality off the ball? Are you trying to get the ball for catch and go so you can drive? Are you trying to set up this poke?
I let the defense tell me, I let the defense tell me. So obviously when I'm always trying to get involved as much as possible. So, whether it's post up, I feel I've worked tremendously hard on my game to have an outside and inside game. I think I've proven that to the world year in, year out. So just being aggressive, getting to spots I could do what I do best.
Coach pointed out the rebounding discrepancy tonight. Usually a good rebounding team. Why the difference tonight?
Again, we just didn't get those 50-50 basketballs. They did a great job of getting those, and they did a great job of just finding, those long rebounds in different ways. They obviously, we knew after game one, they're going to come out in game two with more intensity, and we had to match it, and we just didn't tonight.
Mikhail obviously had a pretty good scoring game, and then fourth quarter gets a clean look. Did you think that shot that he took was going?
Of course. We all saw what happened in Portland, so he doesn't need much space to get a game winner going. So he got a great look. JP got a great look. You live with those kind of shots.
When you look around in this locker room, what are you expecting out of your teammates the rest of the way, man?
Just fight. I mean, this is something we got experience in this locker room, and we're a locker room that's close knit. So I expect us to stay connected, get hungrier, and find ourselves executing at a high level.
Hey, Karl, you had 3 shots, I think, in the third. I know I asked you about the fourth. I'm just curious, did Detroit do anything different in the second half that you had seen previously in the first game and a half?
I got to watch the film, but I can't really answer that. I'm in the game, so like I said, I'm just executing what we're told to do and trying to do my best at doing it at a high level.
The free throw disparity. How difficult?
We're not worried about that.
How difficult is it to play through that when it's
playoffs? It's the playoffs. So you can't be worried about free throw disparity and all that stuff. We got to go out there and play physical and not worry about that. If we let that creep into the minds, it becomes contagious, and it's not good for the team. So do a better job of just blocking out the noise of that and just playing the game.
No matter what, I'm always trying to be aggressive. So just how the game went.
What did you think about the rebounding discrepancy tonight?
I didn't even have to check. I mean, I felt like they got
They
some.
had like 14 more than you guys.
Oh yeah, I mean, part of it, some of it's getting good bounces. Some of it is us not finishing possession, boxing out. So we'll watch the film and address it.
What do you, attribute the slow starts to in this series? It looks like you guys have been playing from behind for a little bit.
Sorry. I don't know. I mean, we never want to start slow. It's just been happening, so we got to address it, figure it out, and try to prevent it from happening again.
What was Cade doing today that you guys kind of contained in game one differently, I guess, today?
Just they're running stuff to get me off of his body, setting screens to get me off of him, and doing stuff like that. So they made some adjustments, and we're gonna make some adjustments ourselves.
How do you combat that now?
We'll watch the film and figure it out.
When that shot leaves Mikhail's hands to tie the game, do you think it's going in? He was hot tonight.
Oh yeah, I thought it was going in. That's his shot. Yeah.
How physical was this game to play in for you?
It was a physical game, but I mean, it's what the playoffs are.
Nothing over the top, nothing more than usual?
No.
When you run into a screen from Duran, does that feel a little bit different than anybody else that sets a screen as big as he is?
No, they're all trying to screen me and move on the screen. They're all doing that illegal stuff. Some of them are illegal. Some, I'm sure not everyone is illegal or legal, but they're all trying to screen me as hard as they can. So just matching their intensity, fighting over, and figuring it out.
In a lot of ways, you can set the tone defensively, especially when you're on Cade. He was able to get going tonight. Just what do you think you can do differently? I know he kind of asked about adjustments, but do you feel like when Cade gets going, that kind of hurts the defense?
No, I mean, he's a great player. He made some tough shots, and they're doing some good stuff to get me off of him, off his body, and get him downhill. So just watch the film and go from there.
What's important when you go on the road for the first time in a playoff series? Like, what do you have to do differently now that you're going into, I guess, hostile territory?
Just come out with energy, play hard, play harder than them.
On that three-pointer, Mikal's three-pointer with 11 seconds left, can you kind of take me through what you saw in that possession?
Yeah, I was on the left wing. I tried to go right middle, and then I think Dennis cut me off, so I went back left, and then I cut across the lane. Tried to see what the defense is doing. I just see Mikal relocating back to the top, and I thought he had a good look, and just missed it.
James, in terms of the flow of the game, where do you think things went up for you guys?
From the jump. I think we did a good job of fighting back, but yeah, from the jump, I think the rebounding was a big key, and yeah, I feel like we were playing catch ball all game. I mean, which we were, and then we tied it up, and then I just didn't switch up on the Dennis three, and yeah, I just didn't put myself in a position to help the team win on that aspect, and so yeah, it's tough.
What do you think the big?
Dennis, what were you and Josh trying to do? His call, who makes the call on this?
It's both of us, but it's something that shouldn't happen, especially between me and him. We've known each other too long to mess that up.
What do you think the biggest difference was in their play? Do you think they increased the defense more?
I feel like they definitely picked up their intensity, and I mean, when it comes to playoffs, the team that loses that comes back is just more into it, and it's just a natural reaction when you're in the playoffs. And then when you lose, you find a way to figure out how to come back next game and be better. And you got to give them a lot of credit. And then now it's on us to respond.
Jalen, what did you think about your own game offensively tonight?
I feel like I'm getting the spots and missing shots I normally make, and I feel like it could be a lot better, and I hold myself to a higher standard when it comes to that, and yeah, I just got to help put my team in a position to win, and all the other stuff doesn't really matter. What the stats were. When it comes to a loss, that doesn't matter at all. I just got to help my team put them in a position to win, and tonight I didn't do that.
Jalen, you guys had 15 assists as a team, obviously less than you average. What do you make of that? What do you make of the way you operated offensively?
Yeah, I feel like we got a lot of good looks, and they didn't go down, but we can't let missed shots or stuff like that affect us. You got to control what we can control, and I think that's a big key in winning and losing, controlling what you can control, and making sure you're always just fighting back. And then you can't let up at any point. You can't have any sort of complacency in times like this.